Good morning, participants in homeland Uganda, and good afternoon, participants in Australia. All protocols observed. I hope you are all keeping well in spite of the challenges the COVID-19 pandemic has imposed on the world. I bring you warm greetings from Uganda Embassy in Canberra, Australia's capital, where all embassies of Australia are located. Thank you very much, Dr. Janet Zato, for involving me in this very important conference to discuss the topic of technical vocational education and training, TVET. My part in this discussion, chair and participants, is simple. As the ambassador of the Republic of Uganda to the Commonwealth of Australia, my role is to act as a connector, a bridge, a go-between, like those we have in traditional marriages back home, between my home country, Uganda, and my host country, Australia. In this particular case, I'm acting as a go-between in the relationship which I can call marriage between University of Newcastle and Makerere University Business School, MUBS. University of Newcastle was kind enough to involve me in the preparation of their Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, with MUBS late last year. And it is this MOU which has formed the foundation for the partnership between the two great universities, and by extension, between the two great nations. This MOU has brought us together on the same, albeit virtual, conference table to discuss mutually benefiting issues. I would like to thank University of Newcastle for establishing the Center for African Research, Engagement and Partnerships, CARE-P, under which our MOU will be run. They were yet again kind enough to invite me to give a keynote address at the launch of the center in November last year. The keynote address was entitled "The Importance of Australian Universities Engaging with Their African Peers and Institutions." I think that topic is very relevant to what we are going to discuss today. Dr. Zato, I'm sure, has already given you information about CARE-P and our MOU. The topic of TVET we are discussing today is very important because of the great role it can play in sustainable development of both developed and developing countries alike. This topic is close to my heart. During my many years as staff of Makerere University, I was on the Committee of Technical Affairs, and a lot of groundbreaking policies to improve the sector were put in place. As we all know, Uganda's vision is to totally transform our communities from peasantry and poverty to modernity and prosperity within 30 years. Education in general being the foundation for development, TVET, a subsector of education which trains and equips the learner with knowledge and, more importantly, with skills for work, skills for employment, and skills for innovation, is a very important strategy for sustainable development. That is, of course, if it is well developed, well managed, and given the importance it deserves. TVET works through targeting the high levels of unemployment, especially youth unemployment, which is very high in Uganda and in Africa at large. However, as many of you will echo later, there is a need for a paradigm shift to move from the mentality where TVET is looked down upon and viewed as if it is for the academically weak, those not clever enough, in short, school dropouts. We all know that is not true, and it should not be viewed as such. With well-developed, delivered, and assessed programs, TVET is an important, viable option for learners who want to get into the workforce quicker. The courses should be so well designed with a strong practical component, teaching not only the hows but also the whys, exploring the theory and science behind the techniques in a more practical and hands-on fashion. Nowadays, and especially with the advent of evening courses, which came into force in Uganda about over 2 decades ago, for learners who want to get into the workforce quicker. The courses should be so well designed with a strong practical component, teaching not only the hows but also the whys, exploring the theory and science behind the techniques in a more practical and hands-on fashion. Nowadays, and especially with the advent of evening courses, which came into force in Uganda about over 2 decades ago, the learners can pursue university degrees later if they wish, while continuing to work. The important thing is jobs. TVET stimulates job creation, and jobs build economies worldwide. Fortunately, mindset change, which takes long to achieve, is slowly happening. According to National Development Plan 3, which was recently launched, enrollment in TVET has significantly increased in the last 5 years. That is great, but more needs to be done. In the same NDP 3, I found that the recommendation of a compulsory 1-year post-O-level for everyone of TVET, which would be very good, and some countries are practicing it, and I think if it can be achieved, it will contribute greatly to skilling Uganda. Chair, dear participants, this is where international partnerships, international collaborations, and international friendships come in to assist us with new technology, expertise, and know-how of developing these courses. This is where our new partner, University of Newcastle, comes in. These courses can be offered online, and practicals can be conducted in Uganda using equipment adaptable to our conditions. However, as enshrined in our MOU, the chance of staff and student exchange can also be explored. I will not get into the technicalities of TVET, its advantages, which are many, its challenges, which are equally many. The technocrats, I'm sure, have already done that more efficiently. Mine is to affirm my strong belief that TVET is crucial and vital subsector for sustainable development of Uganda, and to emphasize the advantages of linking with an international partner like University of Newcastle, a university that has been ranked in the top 1% of universities of the world rankings, which will partner with us. Note the word partner. It's not to impose, but to partner and work with us so that together we can develop high quality online courses that will promote the TVET subsector and give it the prominence it deserves. And through University of Newcastle, we can also link in a south-to-south collaboration with other African universities to develop master degree programs which will be used to train the trainers for TVET programs. Chair, dear participants, before I finish, it would be remiss of me not to express my appreciation and that of my country, which I represent, to a few people. The entire management of University of Newcastle that embraced the proposed MOU, in particular the Vice Chancellor, the Pro-Vice Chancellor, and the former and current directors of KRP, Professor Chris Cowley and Dr. Jeanette Brateau. Thank you very much. Then the management of MUBS, in particular the principal, Professor Barunywa, Dr. Susan Watundu, and other heads of the concerned departments. Thank you too for embracing the MOU. Allow me to appreciate in a special way Dr. Noah Mweru, MUBS staff and former PhD student of University of Newcastle, who initiated this important MOU. Thank you, Noah. I would like to thank you all participants of this forum for attending. Thank you. In particular, I thank the Ministry of Education and Sports officials who will ultimately be reviewing and hopefully endorsing the recommendations from this forum. Lastly, but very important, I would like to thank the government of the Republic of Uganda, which has put in place conducive environment without which international friendships like this one between MUBS and University of Newcastle would not have been able to take place. Long live Uganda, long live Australia, and long live University of Newcastle and MUBS partnership. For God and my country, I thank you. Thank you.